Coach Adebisi, you have this wealth of experience, and I trust that people would be learning a lot from you. But before we go on, you are going to introduce yourself shortly. But before you go, I just want to quickly let people know what we are here to discuss today. The discussion today is about SME, fast lane, right? And we want to talk about the growth, scale, and sustainability. So for many who are into business, starting a new business today would be much easier than some years back. If they knew all they know now, through the years, and or knew better, their businesses could have started out better and much easier. So for many of these people, they had to learn everything and do things painstakingly, right? So while as you create your business, you must do the hard works and have your own unique experiences that shape your approach, and you would have to go through what there is. You wouldn't would you have to go through what there is already structure for, and much likelihood of success, backdrop of learning from repeated experiences of other people like Coach Adebisi here, an experienced professional. So this episode seeks to share insight about fast tracking SMEs growth, but it doesn't mean rushing the process. What we are trying to say is that we want to ensure the fundamentals in the founding days and also setting up operation for efficiency, effectiveness, and viability. So we want to ask the question, or should I say, profile answers to this question: how should a small business start? What should it look like? you know what should the big picture be? What are the things to put in place in the early phase and inculcate at every step to ensure attraction of the right resources, consistent result, and sustainable growth? So we'll be learning from an experienced business professional with 16 years experience in the field, has undertaken business at different levels, work with diverse organizations to structure and execute strategy and projects for impact. Also coach, mentored, and trained entrepreneurs, and thus have empowered many youths and women. Thank you so much for coming on to the show, Coach Adebisi. Would you just address us a bit, uh, on your expectation for today and any other thing you would like us to know? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Abiola. Thank you for the opportunity given to me. It's an opportunity anytime you have time to speak, or talk to any group of people. It's an opportunity. Thank you for inviting me. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adebisi Adeko. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a business owner. So I'm not just a coach. I'm wearing so many caps and I've done it. I walked through it. So that's why that I'm here to tell you what you should do or avoid when you're trying to build your business. So yeah, I've been in this for over okay, I've been running my business for over a decade, but I became a mentor. I got into that space like 15, 16 years ago. And I've trained quite a lot of entrepreneurs, and they are successful by the grace of God in their businesses. Okay, so we are here today. So I'm here to answer all your questions, and I'm here to give, you an answer to some bordering questions as regards to entrepreneur, you know,
Okay,
and
so that's a,
running
a really nice intro, succinct and
Nigeria.
straight to the point, and also encompassing your experiences, the great things that you are doing. But before I go on, I'd like to tell you that we have some people in the comment section already saying, "Good morning, everyone." Miss Sharifa Davis, founder, CEO, CC Alajire, Tester and Apparel Limited, is saying hi. So we go on to the first question. We are having quite a number of people tuning in. I'll be calling them shortly. My first question, and I'm sure you're aware of this, Coach Adebisi, we are seeing more people going into business these days, even if small or or smaller, like we've never seen before. So why it suggests opportunities could be created with this? Many believe that it is a sign of economic instability and unemployment. So I want to hear your thought about this. that do you think that there are advantages to people choosing entrepreneurship than disadvantages? I would like you to enlighten us on this phenomenon that we are seeing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. Yes, a lot of people are going into businesses because they don't have anything doing. And yes, and it boils down to economic instability. But how many of these will survive?
Mm.
Of course, there are a lot of advantages and disadvantages. Advantages, you create more jobs, people can work with you. And once you have a small business running, you're no longer looking for any job. And if God helped you, I would say God helped you because in this economy, if God helped you, you're able to employ more hands. So, you're contributing to the GDP of your country, which is an advantage and a good thing. Then I'm also talking about the disadvantages. Well, the advantages span more than their disadvantages anyway. So the disadvantage is just that there will be more competitors out there. When you have like 10 people doing the same thing, the competition is high and you're all scrambling for the same customers. So that's might be one of the disadvantages. But the advantages is whoever survives it and are able to scale and move forward has contributed to the country, you've contributed to somebody else's life, and you're helping the family, so to say. So that's what I would say about that.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I'm happy to hear that. Although there are disadvantage to this, the opportunities far is more than the disadvantages that we have, and the opportunity that we are seeing here is economic growth. Although you want that this could lead to increased competition, but I like to just give you a follow-up question on this. That do you think that this increased competition could lead to like lower prices of things and also increase in standard of quality of products? What do you think, man?
Yes, it depends and it's relative. It depends on let me say the products, the customer that you are serving. We don't all serve the same customers. You might be doing what I'm doing, but we might not be serving the same customers. So it depends on the customer you're serving. It depends on them. Then your location too matters. Then at the same time, like I said, everything has its own advantage and disadvantage, or would I say advantages and disadvantages. So for the disadvantages, yes, it might lead to lower price because a lot of small businesses or entrepreneurs think that by lowering their prices, that's how they can attract more customers, or that's how they can gain more visibility. But it's not really true in all cases. Do you understand? So that might be one of the disadvantages. But the advantage is just that when you have so many people offering the same, you give your customers, let's say the masses, several options of what to do and what not to do, what to buy and what not to buy, where to buy from, where not to buy from. And the only thing that you might be doing in that place, if you find yourself in that kind of, market or situation, is to prove yourself that what I'm offering is quite different. And that's how you must understand your own USP. That what makes me unique among all other people doing what I'm doing.
Mm.
So
Yeah, that's quite important, and distinguishing yourself. What value are you? What's your value proposition, right?
yeah.
It, I mean, this competition. So I would like to believe that if we have this sort of low prices that is all shot by strong fundamentals of lower production costs and actually lowering your prices to grab customers, then there will be more people able to access and access essential goods, to meet their food security due to this affordability. But I want us to, we've been deliberating on the opportunities. I want us to go on the challenges. I want to start with this. There's this stat out there. I'm sure you know this, Coach Adebisi, that 60% of small businesses they close down within their first 5 years of operation. And we are seeing more businesses in Nigeria shutting down at their onset of operation. I'd like to just hear from you. What do you think is primarily responsible for this sort of shutdown?
Okay. The that saying is true. A lot of small businesses shut down, in their first 5 years, and there is a lot of factors that can contribute to that. Mainly, so many people that are going into business, especially the small businesses, they went there for survival. They didn't go there to do anything. I just want to survive. Let me just have something doing that is bringing in income that can foot my bill. So, and that's why a lot of people, they didn't have it as like, this is what I want to do. They didn't have any background check. They didn't have any formal knowledge. Maybe they saw it that, oh, my friend is doing it and she's making it, or my neighbor does it and she makes quite a lot of money, or a lot of customers come to her, I see them, or I see her living well and this is what she's doing. So maybe I should go into it. So a lot of people go into businesses, assuming they are going to do well, or thinking that the person that is, so maybe their neighbor or their friends or their family member is doing, that's what the person is doing that is making them looking good or doing okay. So one of the reasons, there is no clear thought about how the business is going to run. They don't, some of them don't even have the knowledge of how to run it. They don't have their standard operation, written out. They don't have their goals. They don't have their mission or vision. Some people don't even know what is a vision and a mission. My only vision and mission is to make money and be okay. That's what some people know. So those are the reasons. But if you have your mission and your vision, you have your thoughts cleared out, your goals, that this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be in the next how many days or months or quarter, then it's going to inform a lot of things in that business. And that's one of the major drive for the business to succeed. Because if you don't know your mission and your vision, you are going to forget it in a very short time. Once you have any challenges, then every business should prepare for challenges, because it will surely come. It's like a cake that you must have a piece of. So you don't think that because I'm running my business, it's not business, I don't expect a challenge. I always have a challenge. And so many businesses are not built, for this. And for you to be in a small business area and to run a small business rather, you must have resilient spirit. You must have, someone said, you must have master class in resilience. You must have that willpower that I'm going to stay. Running businesses goes beyond just passion. This is my passion. This is what I want. Sometimes passion will die, and the only thing you will need is that resilience. And if you have a clear goals and clear vision of what you want to achieve, one of the reasons or things, factors that will make you to stay and roughen the weather to make that business kill. I hope.
Thank you so much, Ma. I was trying to get that last punchline that you gave us. Running business goes beyond passion. Sometimes passion will die, but if you have clear goal about what your future is about, your mission, vision, what you are trying to achieve, then it keeps you running. I think it diverges from people saying your passion is going to ride you through. And when the going gets rough, your passion is going to, because you have this strong zeal for it. You are very deeply interested in it. For you to be committed is going to, you know, keep you on track. Yeah, I just quickly mention what you have furnished us with today. Very brilliant point. Survivor and hope is not strategy. Many people are doing businesses. They don't have clear thoughts. They are not even thinking about what are they doing, what are they trying to do, what are they trying to achieve. They don't see it as a money making scheme. But that is not enough. It's okay if you just say that I just want to be earning a living, just to be my own thing, fine. But if you are thinking that you want to establish something that stands the test of time, not only successful today, then like Coach Abdulbisi have said, you must have a very strong vision and mission. You must have a clear thought about what the future is, how you are going to reach there, the standard operating procedure, and you must understand as well how to properly manage and run a business. I just corroborated what she has said, for more clarification of the audience. So we move to the third question. This is a major challenge in Africa, the developing world, and global South. Hindering entrepreneurs, small businesses from successfully growing and establish themselves in the global market space. So access to finance is one of the leading factors that cause failure of small businesses. So I want to ask you, like, you have the understanding of all this, right? And there are some things that small businesses should be doing to better position themselves. So I want to ask you that how should a small business position itself for funding? Like, what are the things to put in place to ensure that they can access the required funding? I'm sure that there must be some things to put in place.
Well, first of all, I would like to ask the small business if they really need funding. You know, the truth is some don't really need that funding, but they're like, funding is the only challenge I have. The funding is one of the challenges I have. Then identify, do they really need funding? Then number two, they'll say, which business will not need funding? Then number two, if you know you need funding, you expect it to come from somewhere because you don't have it. That's why you are saying you are in need of funding, right? So if you expect funding to come from somewhere into your business, how are you positioning your business? Is your business structured? Funding can come from anywhere. It can come from family and friends. It can come from you. It can come from organizations like in form of loan, in form of bank draft, then grants and all that. Yes, grants is what you don't pay back, but how many small businesses are ready for grants? Because there's a lot of things they will be requiring from you. Number one is structure. We know that so many small businesses doesn't have structure. Even the one that is even a bigger business that are not small businesses, they call them medium, you know, enterprise. There are a lot of businesses doesn't have structures. And what do they call structures? Because everybody will be hearing, what is this structure they are talking about? Structure has a lot of things, encompasses in one thing. And for a small business, the little thing that is expected of you, at least for the first one, is your bookkeeping. Are you keeping records? A lot of small businesses doesn't even know how much comes in, how much goes out in one day, not to talk of a week or a month. So anybody, you must be accountable if you need funds. And for you to be positioning yourself to receive funding, whether from debts or equity or grants or loan, you must be accountable. Even if I want to borrow you money, that is like in form of loan, I want to see what you have done before. You must have tractions. You must show me that this business that I want to, even though I want to loan you, you are going to pay me back at the end of the day. I want to be sure that that loan will not enter voicemail. Sorry, that's in a Nigerian voice. It won't enter voicemail. That you will not be able to pay that loan back. I want to see tractions. What have you done before? My grandma used to say, and Adi, sorry, I'm very close to grandmothers, and I love the way they speak, using adages. They said, you call yourself a soldier, and you are bragging that you are going to go to war. And when you get to war, you are going to kill 1,000 people at a stroke. Oga, they'll say, first of all, kill 10 chicken. Let's see you at a stroke. Then we will know that when you get to that war front, at one strike, you can kill 1,000. You have not even done any businesses, or maybe your turnover is not even up to 500,000 naira in a month. Yet you are saying that you need funding of 5 million naira. From where to where? Where is the traction? How will you generate it? Even if you are so lucky, let me call it like that, lucky, because there's nothing like that. You have to work your way through and you get that 5 million. It's so sure that you are going to waste it because you don't even have system in place. You don't have structures that is going to absorb that money that you just got. You are going to waste it. You are going to buy what you don't need, and you are going to, employ people that you don't need. You are going to request for services that you don't have any need of in your business. So you must go through your business. You must understand that business very well. And that is the place of creating structure. As low as you know, I'm bringing down to the nano business owner that you're just starting out. You don't know your left from your right. You don't know anything. Just start out to make money. You must have record and you must be accountable. Records start from how many of your products do you have? How much do you sell them? What is the percentage of your profit margin? Everything encompassing from you.
I think we lost her for a moment there. She would be right back. I think she's experiencing some technical challenge, so we just have to wait a bit. And based on what she's been saying so far, she's talking about what is necessary to secure funding. You must ask yourself, do you really need funding? And because when the fund comes in, a lot of people do not know what to use that fund for, right? Start making bad choices, bad hiring, bad purchasing. At the end of the day, it's costing the company money and all that. And you know, another thing that she mentioned is structure, right? And do you have structure in place? And one of the ways she said to actually um, achieve structuring is have bookkeeping, accountable.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you. We lost you for a moment there. I
Yeah.
was trying to
Okay.
fill up for
Right
this.
on.
Yeah, you can go ahead, man. We are still with you from where you
Oh,
stopped.
okay. So like I was saying, that you need to be accountable for whatever you are doing in your business, and for you to be able to get funding, position your business well. So, like I was saying, that as little as keeping record of whatever you're doing, knowing what it costs you to get your raw material or the product, then what it costs you to get it to the point of sale, and every other cost that's associated in you getting that product to the end user finally. Because so many of small businesses doesn't take that into consideration. They don't even take to consideration of how much it costs them to go to get those things. Transportation, they just feel "Hmm, it's nothing." Then the transportation for you to get it to the final customer. That is when you have closed that deal, you've made that sale, and you've brought in money. So everything that it costs you to make that sale must be put into consideration, and that's what they call proper recording. And quite a lot of small businesses don't separate themselves from the business. Whatever they are doing is their own. Yes, you are the CEO, you are the managing director and all that. It's your business, you have all the money, but you're not supposed to spend it on you. That business must be channeled towards the money that you make from the business must be channeled towards the business. So, and a lot of business doesn't pay themselves salary. If they need any money, they just dip their hand in the pocket of the business and they take as much as they want. If you keep running your business like that, nobody is going to give you money. Everyone that wants to give you money wants you to be able to be accountable for the money, and you must generate traction. Tell me that you have done this and this and this. This is what is remaining.
Yeah, you said it brilliantly, honestly. And the key part of it is accountability. You know, and the first question you must ask yourself, like you have informed us, is do you really need funding? And when the funding comes in, what are you going to use the funding from? Because we have a lot of people that they want to grow, but when they get the money, they don't even know what to use the money for. And like you said, they start making bad money decisions, bad purchases, employing people that they are not meant to employ simply because they don't have a plan. And at the end of the day, rather than something that will propel them, it starts regressing them. right? And another thing that you mentioned is accountability. You have to take uh, your expenses, your credits, everything that you are doing, your purchases, inventory, very serious, because these are the things that they ask in the bank. They want to see what you've been doing, how you've been doing that, how you've been able to manage cost, if you are paying your taxes and all this, right? Is one of the reasons why people cannot access, you know, programs out there that would support them. You mentioned quite a few of them, from organization, loans, grants, accelerators, right? And all these seats, they cannot access them. And the last part that I like that you mentioned is structure itself, separating yourself from the business, right? And a lot of people do not really understand this. Is why one of the things that is needed to be done in the early stage of the business is registering your business, right? So you must understand that you are not the same with your business, except that you are running a one-man show. At least for a registered business, still offers you some protection. When you eventually get to company level, and there's some liability and all that, and it won't be on your head alone to take the whole brunt, right? So it's going to be on the company and all that. So I'm not advising that we do anything wrong with our operations, and it's very important. So one thing that I've seen with this lack of structuring is that despite the SMEs contributing about more than 50% to our GDP, right, and contributing, creating a lot of jobs, right, government cannot capture the necessary taxes from SMEs because they are not formally structured, and and a lot of them cannot benefit from good programs because they are not formally structured. I leave it at that. We go to the next question that connects with when you said establishing a business. Why are you establishing it and all that? You know, I you know I want you to just give a bit of advice, or idea to people that want to start a business, and they are choosing what to start with. So I want you to just enlighten us on how to validate an idea and market. Like you said, it shouldn't just be that you just wake up and say you want to start doing something. There has to be a way about this. How do we go about this? Thank you, man.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for that, like I said, a lot of small businesses started because of survival. I started my business because of survival. I'm not going to lie about that. So I was just a fresh graduate, just finished serving. I've been going up and down to for interviews here and there, and no job was forthcoming. I'm like, I have a skill actually that I learned along the way, and I thought maybe this skill can give me something. Let me start it, and that was how I started my business. I started out not to run it as a business. I just had like a survivor, my survivor mode. I just activated my survivor mode. Let me just use this to while away time to fill in the gap while I search for job. And at the end of the day, it turned out to be a business because I found out that okay, I could turn it to a business. It was a passion, it was a skill, it was a survival mode kind of you know game, I'll call it like that. And it turned out to be a business. So a lot of people are like me, that started out like that mode of survival. But if you really want to validate, I didn't validate my idea. I just push it down like customers through that you must buy this. But along the line, I got an opportunity to learn about how I could validate that, and I was able to do that. But because when I started, there was nothing like entrepreneurship training, and it was just coming up. A lot of people, nobody even know much about entrepreneurship, or there is any training out there, or that people like us can afford, because a lot of small businesses cannot afford all those kind of trainings. But I got lucky. I was selected, to have a scholarship from one Goldman Sachs then. They were from the US. They said they were looking for undeserved women that were running businesses, but they doesn't know their left from their right, that they want to put, us through how to run businesses. And then I saw it in a newspaper. Someone just brought it to me and said, "You that you like to be jumping up and down and be doing businesses, can you read this and apply?" And I'm like, they will not pick me. He said, "Why?" I said, "This
So I think we lost her for a moment there. She's going to join us shortly. And she was giving us a bit of background about herself, how she got into entrepreneurship, but obviously stating that she started um, with the survivor's mindset, and everyone must start somewhere and with a drive, a particular drive. But she always had you know,
hello,
thank
I'm
you.
back."
Yeah, you're back now. Yeah.
Okay. So I want, long story short, I won the scholarship and that's changed the trajectory of my business. It changed it forever. I was blown away. It was like a bird let out of a cage. And I'm like, oh my God, you mean I could actually run this my hobby, yeah, into like a business and turn into a big business? They said yes. And that helped me. But idea validation, a lot of small business doesn't even wait for idea validation. When hunger is hungry you, hunger is whipping you just want to jump into something and start selling. But right now, I would say having idea validation doesn't really mean that your business is going to survive anyway, but it is very important to do it. And for some businesses here that have started out, without idea, you can still validate that idea. It is not too late. It is never too late to validate your idea any day, anytime. Because I think it's about after like 5, 6 years I've been running the business that I now validated my idea and it became viable. But if you validate your idea and it looks as if it's not really viable, you can change. That's why we are in Nigeria. You can get into any kind of business any day, anytime. This is not UK. This is not US. That you have to be before you go in. You cannot go into any business anyhow there. But here in Nigeria, I can decide to start, you know, a block making factory tomorrow. Nobody's going to ask me. And the good thing about it, the government don't even expect me to register immediately. I can run it, but like maybe 1 year, 2 years before I now said, okay, I want to register it and make it into full-fledged, corporate business. So that is the good thing about, but it is good that you validate your idea. The people really want that idea. Make a research. But then I will always ask a lot of small businesses to start from the pain point, solving a problem. Let your business be a business that solves problem. Yes, even though you start out, you know, as a mode of survivor, and you want to survive on that, but still put it at the back of your mind that this business, what problem is it solving? Because in the course of you doing business, while you are trying to put it together and make it a successful business, you are going to come across that because they will ask you, what problem is your business solving? You can't tell me that your business is not solving any problem. And if it's not solving any problem, then it's not a business. It's not going to last. Because if you cannot solve people's problem, that business is not going to last.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
You're
What
welcome.
problem is your business solving? That's a good way to approach the um, question of how to validate an idea. and a market. But beyond that, one thing that I love that you mentioned so much is that if you validate your idea today and you feel that it doesn't it's not going to work well, it's not doesn't make sense, economic sense, then you can pivot. Because I see that a lot of people are doing something that is not generating returns and they know it, but still they continue with it. Maybe because of the shame, maybe they are thinking that they've gone a long way to come back, and many times some of those things they turn out well, with good valuation about the future. But in other times too, they don't turn out well. So you have to make um the bold decision, right? And I like that you gave us background into your story, how you started. I actually started with the survivor mindset. Obviously, everybody is going to start one way or the other, but I like that your story, you had this zeal, open to opportunities. You always knew that there was something more, right? And it was why when something came on, you were able to jump on it and, you know, exploit it fully and launch yourself, right? So if I would advise anyone watching us today is to have that kind of mindset as well, mindset for growth. You know, um, I want to proceed to the next question. And as you are talking about this validating an idea, how to found a business, the desire, and all that. So I want to ask this question for people, they are struggling with whether they are meant for entrepreneurship or they should go for office job. For someone intending to go into business or follow the path of entrepreneurship, I like to ask you what you would advise them to know if it's right for them or not, in terms of question to ask self, the resources and traits required, like what are the questions to ask yourself? What are the traits to embody? What are the resources that you must be prepared, to put at your disposal to be able to follow this path?
Okay. Um, for whatever you want to do in life, you need to sit yourself down and ask honest question. Even if you are going into paid employment, you will ask yourself, can I meet up? Can I deliver? Will I be responsible? And will I be able to contribute positively into whatever or wherever I find myself? Because you need to be able to ask quite a lot of questions that you'll be able to answer. Am I answerable? Because some people they are not answerable. It's in their I don't know how to put it. Maybe it's in their blood that like I can't be reporting to you. Some people find it very difficult to report to you. They don't know how to do it. And if you want to go into somebody else's business to go and work or somebody else's or an organization, you'll be accountable. You must report. And are you ready to do that? And there's a lot of inconveniences that is going to come. You have to wake up early and be there. If they ask you to resume at 7 a.m., you can't tell them, sorry, I don't wake up early or I'm not an early riser. So all those questions you must ask yourself. And if you are going into entrepreneurship as well, you must ask yourself, am I resilient? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, ma.
Oh, okay. So, like I said, you must be ready for all the challenges. So, are you ready to be the CEO, the cleaner, the accountant, the storekeeper, the receptionist, and the sales girl? Because you are going to be the face of your business as you are starting out. You must be ready to be everything to everybody. You must be ready to be the boy of your business. You must be ready to do anything and make sure that that business keeps running. I've had the privilege or the opportunity to be everything in my business. I was the CEO, I was the managing director, I was the creative director, I was the sales girl, I was the cleaner, everything. I'm the one doing it. So I'm not ready to do that. I'm a graduate. How will I drop? How will I be doing that? How will I be cleaning? I'll be the one cleaning. I'll be mopping my glass, and some people will be passing and say, "Ah, is she the owner of the business or the sales girl here?" I'll just tell them I'm the sales girl here. It's my business. I don't need to prove to anybody anything. But I've done all this, and I'm telling you, being an entrepreneur in Nigeria, you must have master class in resilience.
Hmm.
I'm telling you that you must be ready, you know, to take all the insult is going to come on running your business. I let me just give you a scenario. There is a store that I opened. I think I opened my third store, and I was there. I I didn't have money to employ anybody yet, so I just moved into the place. So I was trying to clean up, set up, and all that. So a customer just walked in, maybe out of curiosity, because I put something outside that actually very attractive. So maybe all of them were like, let's go and see what is happening there. And she came in, she saw me mopping, cleaning. I was like, oh, you're welcome. Sorry, just give me 2 minutes. Let me just tidy up things. And I'm like, so she said, okay, no problem. And fortunately, unfortunately, a call came in and I just quickly discharged the call. And she was like, are you okay? Why can you be receiving calls while I'm here? I said, oh man, I'm just trying to discharge the call so that the person that is calling so that they can call me back. She said, no, 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 I'm not going to take this. Who is your madam here? I just started laughing because I'm the madam. I just said, I'm sorry, ma'am. Said, no, I know your madam actually. I said, you do? Said, yes. I said, really? So apparently she was thinking this girl cannot be the owner of this place.
Wow.
This place is too big for her. And then even she's the owner, how can she be mopping and be cleaning? Well, I'm the one cleaning, I'm the one mopping because as at that time I cannot afford that. And I don't do what and I cannot afford. I'm a business owner and I know what is, good, what is right for the business at a point in time. I apologized and I said, okay, ma'am, how may I serve you? What do you want? Can I take you around? Do you have anything that you like? And she was like, okay, I like to so and so. So she picked one or two, pieces of what we do. And I was telling her about it. So I no, I must talk to your madam. Where's your madam? And I didn't want to tell her that I'm the madam because I don't know how she's going to take it. She has already assessed me that I can't be the madam. I should be maybe the cleaner or the sales girl, whatever, which is okay for me. So, but when I got on, I was relating it to my people. They were like, "That's an insult." Hello, if you want to be a business owner in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, you be ready to take insult. Some of them will talk to you like you are I don't even know how to put it, like you are not a human being or you are below them, you are beneath them. And lo and behold, when you put it on the table, you are not their mate. Do you understand? But they are going to talk to you anyhow. They are going to talk to you, they are going to look down on you. So if you really want to run your business, you must be ready, you know, to take such insults. You must be ready to, and much more insults. I've been in my store and in a couple of times that I have maybe some of my friends that are maybe they're in the corporate world, and some customer will walk in, the way they behave, they'll be like, Madam, is this what you guys tolerate? Is this how to run a business? I said, this is what it takes to run a business, and you cannot get angry. They are your customers. And you know the saying, customers are always right. But for me, I will see it as okay, customer is your currency. When you're in anything you do in your business, if they don't buy, you know, it doesn't add to the bottom line, and you need it.
Exactly.
You need to close that sales. You need to pay the bills. So you must ask yourself all those questions. If you are ready for that, then you are ready to go.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's a very brilliant story about humility and resilience, and I'm happy that you shared it firsthand to us, so we'll be able to understand what daily business owners are business owners that run businesses daily, what they face. A lot of people are leaving their office work because they have one issue or the other, chasing entrepreneurship. They have this freedom and all. It promises freedom, but you might not have that freedom immediately. And there you have to assume many positions at a time. Do you have the capacity, or are you willing to do that? It takes a lot of challenge, and you have to be prepared for this. And what other thing again? And also the part of the customers, the way they behave. Obviously you'll be dealing with a lot of people with different traits, mindset, rationality, and all that. So, and obviously, whether you have customer protection policy or not, or let me say employee protection policy or not, right? You still have some of this. How do you handle the situation in order not to escalate things? And many times we see that people that do not behave well to you, later on they become your lifetime partner, lifetime friends, lifetime customers, right? So how do you navigate this process, this whole scenario? And Coach Adebisi has given us a very brilliant, spot on, story to actually corroborate that. So I move on to the next question. We are coming gradually to the end of the event. I must say, Coach Adebisi, thank you so much for coming today. Your submission today, they've been very insightful, and I love that. For everything that you said today, you've said from personal experiences because you've lived it, so it makes it more, it makes it stronger, right? And I'm sure that a lot of people will be able to take things from this debate to apply to their business. So I move on to the penultimate question, second to the last question. For a small business, I want you to tell us what a small business as their early stage or phase of business process can do, to ensure consistency, standard, and sustainability. What they should do to ensure consistency, standard, and sustainability of process of approach, so that customers they keep getting the same results. You know, that they are sure they have this sort of thinking of the level of the quality of service to get whenever they visit your business or uh, patronize your business.
Okay, thank you for that. A lot of small businesses are product based. So most of them have products. Like let's say 95% of small businesses are product based. So what I'm going to, the advice I'm going to give for consistency is you must write everything down. Then you must know your operations. Standard operation is very key. And write it down. Write it down in such a way that, you know, if I'm into tailoring, I make clothes. You must know the very first thing in bringing out a beautiful garment. That's your SOP. When you have step by step of what you do, even if you are not there, someone else can just pick it up and know that, okay, the first thing we source for the material. Second thing is, take out the measurement. Third thing is cutting. Cut using pattern. Then after cutting, next thing join. When you join, iron and all that. I'm just giving. I'm not a fashion designer, so it might be quite more than what I just stated out. But I'm just saying you can see that it's a flow from sourcing to measurement to cutting to ironing to sewing, then maybe packaging. It might be quite more than that, but you must know your SOP. You must know your standard operation procedure. Every businesses have SOP and you must know it. And that's what will give you consistency. If I'm making kuli and I'm the one mixing the batter, I must know that for me to make 5 grams of um, granite, this is the amount of pepper that I'm going to have. Maybe I'm going to have 1 kg of pepper to 5 grams of um, granite powder. Then I'm going to have 0.10% of sugar, 0.5% of salt. That's what that is an operation. You can say how it flows. If I employ a new hand, I'm going to tell the person, for you to make X amount of kuli for me, and for me to get this consistency, you need to mix to 5 grams of groundnut flour. I need to mix 1 gram of sugar, 0%, 0.1% of salt, 0.1% of what pepper and all that. So that's what they call standard operation. And that's what can give you consistency. For okay, if I bring it into my own personal business, I'm into jewelry making and I make jewelry. So for me to make a beautiful neck piece, I know how many strands it's going to cost me, how many pieces of gold accessories, gold balls that I'm going to use for a 3-layer neck piece. So I know that's what we're talking about. So if I'm doing that in 200 times or 2,000 times, it's going to give me the same result, because I'm going to be needing 4 strands of 8 mm Swarovski crystals. I'm going to be needing 96 pieces of ball of 6 mm. I'm going to be needing 1 inches long of clasp, and the result is going to be the same. If I do it 2,000 times, I already know what I want to do. So that's what they call, you must know your operations. That's why they will not say, okay, the kulinko you made last week is harder than the one you made this week. This week is softer than what you made last week. So we might not buy. I've gone to buy yogurt from somebody, and the tastes are not the same, because a lot of them don't document. They don't write down their operations. They just do it. Let's just do it like that. Or probably maybe there is another ingredient that is missing or it is not available, and they are trying to manage things. You must make sure that your operations is very correct and you follow it. That is what you bring consistency. That is what we give. If you want to make a bolero jacket, you already know it's 4 yard by 45 inches that is going to give you that. You cannot manage 3.5 or 3 1/4. It won't give you the same result, and you will not get the same result. Did I answer that question well?
Yes, you did. You did fantastically answer that question. And and yes, of course, what I've taken from your answer today is very important, that you have structure and system. You write everything down about your operation. What do you do? What do you need? You build it into this standard operating procedure. Is what we have many of these franchises. The great McDonald's, Burger King, um, the success story of our time in Nigeria, Chicken Republic, in the fast food sector category, right? They have this standard operating procedure so that anybody that comes in, it takes that manual. He or she already knows what to do, right? You don't have another person training and training, retraining and training. This helps with it helps to save time. It helps with efficiency of delivery, not only maintaining quality of product of service, but also you're able to deliver it very fast, and you know how long it's going to take for you to build something and deliver it, and that you can be able to put out your value uh, proposition, right? And also for the franchise, you are able to take what you've done here. You are opening another franchise, right? You are able to replicate it in another place so that that new franchise is now operating the same way as the similar one. You are having um, service, similar efficiency and effectiveness across the different franchises. So that is very brilliant. Thank you for helping us with that and giving us that very powerful submission. So I go to, if you permit me, I just want to take one more question before we go to the last question. I think I omitted that question, right? And we are talking about businesses not only establishing, you know, you have to scale, you have to grow nationally, and some have this sort of ambition to grow regionally and into global market as well. So I just want to ask you that for a business having this sort of audacious ambition, what would you advise them, on how to position themselves? You've mentioned structure. Structure keeps coming out of what you've been saying since, but I want you to add a bit of flesh to it. Are there other things aside structure that a business must take note of for, that is intending to scale nationally, regionally, and globally? Thank you.
Okay, okay. We have talked about structure. You talk about your branding. If you want to go global, you cannot just go and push out rubbish out there. Then focus more on your cash flow. Build the business. Like I said, that adage, capture your environment first. If you're in Surulere, how many people knows you in Surulere? Before you move to maybe the next neighborhood, maybe like Island, you must capture your environment first. So if you are in Lagos State, capture Surulere, capture Island, capture Lagos, then flow to other states, then capture Nigeria. Then you can be talking about going continental, then you can go global. They said start small, grow your business, and expand it globally. You have to capture your environment first. How many people knows your business and your environment? How many people knows your business in your locality? How many people knows your business in your community? How many people knows your business in your state? So some people have not even captured their community. They want to move to local government. They didn't even know you in your local government. They want to go to state. They didn't even know you in your state. They want to go to the main nation. You must focus on the business in growing it, making sure that it's registered. Like that's part of the structure as well. Then grow it. You must focus on the cash flow. Focus on your customers. Who are your customers? Identify them, then serve them well. Then focus on everything that is around, you know, your business. Then you can now say you have grown, then you want to expand, you want to go global. First of all, capture your locality. So that's what I would say on that.
Okay, thank you, Ma. And she has added other things to the structure. Register your business, focus on your customer, identify them, and serve them well, right? And also focus on your cash flow, your expenses, your um your inflow as well. And you have to start somewhere. Think about where you are, capture that, learn the lessons, incorporate them, and make your operations better, your service better as well. Instead of trying to grab all the old market here, up here, on there, and spreading yourself too thin. At the end of the day, not achieving a single thing, right? So I proceed to the last question of the day. It's been a very good time on the show today. I'm sure that our audience they're learning. They'll be able to take something home. So I want to ask you. This pertains to resources, right? I'm one of the people benefiting from your resources, from the group Launch and Grow, right? And you know to help entrepreneurs, SMEs, and all that. So for someone wanting to grow a business, wanting to start a business, or wanting to transition and all that. So I want you to advise or tell us what resources, should or what body associations should they join, what groups or classes they need to be taken or join to improve their access to beneficial knowledge, information, and facilities. Because these three things, knowledge, information, and facilities, they help a lot rather than playing in isolation and with limited facilities and capacity. So I want you to touch on that as well. Thank you.
Okay. Like you said, you can't work in isolation if you want to grow, and it's going to give you a lot of leverages if you have quite a lot of platforms that you belong to. If you work alone, you are going to die. I'm telling you, and your business will not survive it. You see, while when I started my business, I joined quite a lot of associations, and it really helped me. I'm telling you, it catapulted my businesses. I have more than one business, and I have quite a lot of associations that I join. And I'm going to advise every business here, look for at least two that is that is aligning with your vision and mission. Don't just go and join any association. Ah, I heard that they are joining association, let me join. Look for an association that aligns with your vision and mission. So if you don't have vision and mission of a business that you are running, please sit down and draw it. It is never too late. Hmm? Make sure that you join that association. There are a lot of associations that I joined that has really, really been beneficial to my business and to my personal life. For my personal growth, you know, I I grew through so many of those associations and for my business, and it's going to give you a lot of leverage. Okay, I have a friend that is into fruit juices and all those kind of drinks. She's been running after NAFDAC to have NAFDAC registered, for like 5 years. And the kind of money they call, they register those products product by product. Imagine if you have like 12 products and you are going to register them one after the other and you are paying per product. But I told her about this association. She joined the last 3 years. She was able to achieve. Sorry. Can you
Yeah,
hear
go
me
ahead.
now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So she was
We are
able to
with you.
achieve it. And I'm telling you, I've achieved, I did my trademark of my business because I joined an association and I pay next to nothing, like a piecemeal. If I walked into that organization that I'm here to, trademark my business, I'm sure they would have cut off my head. But because I belong to an association, I was able to do it, and they did a lot of waivers for us. We paid maybe something very small, very, very small. So, and that's the benefit of joining an association. And I have quite a lot of, instances, success stories that has come through joining, you know, associations, those kind of platform. So you must align yourself and don't just join, participate, you know, don't just join and be one of the numbers. Make sure that you know the vision and mission of any association that you are joining, and make sure that it aligns with your own, values for your business. And from there, success is your starting point.
Oh, thank you so much for that. I'm just going to quickly
You're
repeat
welcome.
what you said. We have come to the end of the question session. You said that just look for few, at least two association that align with your mission and vision. You know, And many of the things that you feel that is hard would become easy because we have um, a lot of people that have gone through similar thing that you are going through, and they can easily advise you or support you or even you know show you how to go about it easily. And some of these associations are reputable, they are registered as well to have access to things that an individual person would not be able to have access to. So it's a way that you actually benefit from that, and she has given us a very good example on that. And it's not just about joining, also participate, and whatever is being done, not just participating based on the level that what can I take, but also from what can you give, what value can you offer, because it has to be a two-way thing, and these things work in a way that at the end of the day it does come in your favor, right? And it helps to grow your business, service, your network, connection, and entrepreneurship activity that you are pursuing. So we have come to the end of the session. I'll just um, quickly summarize what we've discussed here today. Then I can allow Coach Adebisi to go. I'm sure that she has a very busy schedule. I just had to bring her here this morning. We had to readjust the time. We've been planning to have this particular discussion since last year, but it's been a very good time today, and I'm happy that she has joined us. So basically, she has told us that um, it's good to start entrepreneurship. There's a lot of advantages to starting it. You can better your life, you can make impact in the lives of people, and also in the lives of and also impact nationally, globally. But start it the right way. Starting in the right way is the pathway to actually being able to achieve your mission and vision. And it starts with validating your idea. You have this idea. What do I want to do? What am I hoping to achieve? What pain am I trying to address? Solution that I'm trying to give to that pain, right? And then, you know, as you pursue the entrepreneurship path, you ask yourself, the questions that you must ask yourself. And then you must know that you can't just establish a business like every other people, like any other business, but establish it on structure, right? First of all, registering it, having mission, vision. What do we want to achieve here? And as you start, you begin, you are documenting the processes, you are learning, you are also keeping accounts of your inflows, outflows, credit, debit, expenses, account receivables, loans that you are taking and all that, and also making sense of them, right? And you are also putting everything in the early phase into a book documenting them to build this operating standard operating procedures that this is how we do things here, and it's going to guide over the future, although it will be um, developed, worked on, right? But it helps to have something so that when you have an employee, you are able to put them straight into the business and they start working. It helps with efficiency, effectiveness, and sustainability of what you are doing. Then, you seek finance, asking yourself, do I really need this? Right? If I get the finance, what am I going to use it for? Because we have a lot of people thinking that they need finance at the end of easy to do, and what should benefit them ends up becoming what regresses them. You don't want that, right? And you know, the operating standard operating procedure ensures that um, you can deliver consistent, reputable service to your customers. Your customers are important. Without them, there's no business. And as such, you have to give them not just unique value proposition, that helps to address their pain points, their problems, their needs, but also a satisfactory service that keeps them coming back. Not only that, but also refer you to other people, because your business thrives relies on the number of people that you are able to serve, but also how you are able to profitably serve those people. But it does make sense having more customers, even if you are going to be charging $1 for every one of them. It helps to expand the revenue base, right? And also the profit of the company. So these are some of the things that have been said, and we also need to um, ensure that we belong to the right places, associations that positions us for opportunities, access to facilities, make things easier for us as a business. You know, like she said, working in isolation as an entrepreneur, business, SME, small service provider is basically that you leverage with other people. The saying is, you work alone, you go fast. You work with other people, you go far. So I think that's a good thing to incorporate into our different businesses as we go on with them, embark on the idea, asking the right questions, making the necessary, informed, and right decisions. You know, asking, what do I want to do this for? What do I get from this? Does this make business and economic sense, right? And if it does, we take that into consideration, adopt that decision. But if it doesn't, we look for other things to do. As is often said, business fund is scarce, and it has to be deployed to productive endeavors, right? So I think I've covered most of the things that we discussed on, and she, informed, educated, or, or educated us about today. And I'm hoping that all these things that we've said is going to be implemented in our lives, our businesses, and helps to transform our operations, our service, and our delivery. I like to leave you with this thought before you go. Extraordinary businesses are not built by extraordinary people. They are rather built by ordinary people working on, or should I say, working with consistent and reliable operating procedure. So I like to leave you with that. That what are you thinking about this? Putting this in place, the product knowledge, standard operating procedure, and all that we've discussed. And I hope to hear from you soon about, what you're able to achieve with it. I hope that we'll be able to transform your mindset about how a business should be founded, how a business should be managed, and how a business should grow. And I like to thank our viewers today, um, Sherifa Davis, and also another person that joined us, Mr. Inwani Haik. Sorry if I don't pronounce that right. Founder of Pentabo Farms Limited. Thank you all for joining us today. We do appreciate. Please don't forget to follow us and refer us to others so that they can benefit from what we are doing. We are trying to impact a lot of people as much as possible, help them grow, help them scale, and help them make impact in their respective community that translate to national, regional, and global impacts, helping to address hunger, poverty, bridge inequality, and deepen prosperity for all. Follow us at the Last Giddy Farmer podcast on YouTube. You can click on subscribe now. We are also on Spotify, the Last Giddy Farmer podcast as well. In case you love to listen to audio, not video, then you would also have the same quality conversation as you would have here on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us today. I proceed to ending this session. See you next time.